Hello there, you amazing viewers and subscribers. Welcome to a new Doctor Who video. So in this video, I want to talk about why I don't like the David Tennant era. Now, David Tennant is, of course, my least favourite Doctor. Don't get me wrong, right? He's still got some great stories in Series 2, 3, 4 and the specials, but a majority of them I don't really like as much. The other bits, there's kind of aspects I do and stuff. So I thought I'd sit here, talk about the stuff I'd like, what stuff I don't like from the David Tennant run, and everything else. So, to start off with this, I'm going to talk about Series 2. Series 2, for me, it is the weakest series to ever come on our screens for the David Tennant era. Yes, we have the return of the Cybermen, we have the Cult of Skaro, we also have the return of Sarah Jane and K9, but I have so many issues with Series 2, and I'm going to talk about why I'm going to talk a bit about Series 2, then 3, and then 4, then the specials. So, before I start this off, I want you to know, I don't actually hate David Tennant. I think he's a great actor. I think he's good as the 10th Doctor. I really do like him as the 10th Doctor. But the way he was written to be this kind of lovesick, sort of poppy human version of the Doctor, that's the problem I have with this era of the show. So I thought I'd talk about why I don't like the David Tennant, specifically the David Tennant era. Don't get me wrong, it means he's got some great stories. There are a thermometer of stories I do enjoy. Mainly around about Series 2, I can actually say about a couple. Series 3, I do enjoy Series 3, and Series 4, I absolutely love. But for me to actually sit here and say the reason Tennant is my least favourite Doctor is for a few aspects of his era, from 2005 to 2010. So before I get into that, let me show you what I own of these Doctor Who stories on DVD and Blu-ray. So of course I own the 5 volumes of Series 2. The Series 2 DVD box set, and of course the Blu-ray Steelbook. So you're probably going, if I own the 3 things of Series 2, how come I can say it's my least favourite? Well, when the show came back, there was no bad stuff in Eccleston's run. I absolutely do enjoy Eccleston's run. Even like the Savine, I really think the Savine are a good alien to say. But for me, after getting off a high start with Series 1, and we come down to Series 2, yikes. So, how does the writing suggest for the 10th Doctor? Right, how can I say about the writing for the 10th Doctor? He is a whiny, love, little puppet human figure. Not an alien, not the Doctor, but a human love puppy. That is the way I can say it about the 10th Doctor during this series, because he becomes obsessed with Rose. Like when you see him in New Earth, when he goes, "What have you done to Rose's head? I want it reversed. We haven't done anything. I'm in very, very calm. I'm in very, very calm." And it's just, you can tell a lot of stuff in Series 2 is relationship based between the two of them. Like, from episodes 1 to 3, you got the Doctor and Rose. Specifically, the relationship between them is more hinted at in Teeth and Claw, with the werewolf episode, which is one of my favourite episodes of Series 2. I do enjoy that, but the only thing I don't like about it is the relationship stuff from Tennant's era. From this mainly this episode and the first one, where the Christmas invasion, which is Tennant's first episode, you know that Rose is in love with the Doctor because she's there crying over him, saying, "He's gone, the Doctor's gone, he left me, Mum, he left me." Oh, for fuck's sake, no, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of the lovey-dovey stuff. Get rid of the lovey-dovey stuff. But then we get to Teeth and Claw. Now, Teeth and Claw is one of my favourite episodes from Series 2. I do love the whole werewolf. I like the music. I like the way the Doctor meets Queen Victoria. And I even like how it sets up Torchwood, that if this Doctor should return, then Torchwood will be waiting. I absolutely do like that bit for this kind of era. But I just really don't like the relationship stuff. Then when you get into Teeth and Claw, Rose's jealousy hits the screen like a big, massive bam. It's like a big, massive bam, and Rose's jelly comes out when she sees Sarah Jane. And it's like, hi. And then you get that stupid, cringy line from Northern Cole, who plays Mickey, saying, "Oh, mate, the Mrs. and the X, welcome to every man's worst nightmare." It's like, what? That's the one thing about the episode I really don't like, the kind of like jealousy between Rose. Then she finds that the Doctor's had other companions, so she's not really the first one. Big shocker, who cares? Are we Doctor Who fans know she ain't the first one? Oh, come on, go back to classic Who. You had half a dozen in a season. With Hartnell, we had 3 companions in for about two seasons. Where you go to Troughton, he ended up having 4 for quite a few. Well, 3, sorry. There was 4 of them with Ben, Polly, and Jamie. The 5th Doctor, Adric, Nyssa, and Tegan. So the Doctor's always had groups of companions, but this is where Rose just goes with jealousy, and I'm like, we all know that you ain't the first companion the Doctor's ever travelled with, so get over it. It's like that. And then, of course, when the series progresses, you do see after Mickey gets left stuck in the parallel universe, Rose is there, left crying over him, we're like, you were just getting jealous with Sarah Jane a couple of episodes ago. And even the episode after scoring in the Girl of the Fireplace, she got jealous of Madame Pompadour. It's like, seriously, just stop the jealousy, stop the lovey-dovey, stop. Rise of Cybermen Age still is one of the best episodes of Series 2. Then we get to the Idiot's Landing, when you can tell the Doctor's in love with Rose when she gets her face still, and he's like, Rose. And he's over the sun, like, literally, it's like, then the rest of the episodes I can actually suggest in this, which is The Impossible Planet and Satan's Pit, where you can tell the Doctor again likes Rose and she likes him because they're talking about him living in a house and having a joke around and everything. It's just like, no, this is being total cringiness. Total cringiness. And then when you get to Doomsday and she leaves and then she says, I love you, and the Doctor just finally goes without saying the word because she's trapped in a parallel universe, he's stuck in our universe. It's like, yay, she's gone, hallelujah. And then, of course, we go into The Runaway Bride, which is the 2006 Christmas special, which I've got here separately, but it is in the box sets. We meet Donna Noble. 10 is still like there being a bit mopey over Rose in the few scenes where you see these couple dancing and you get some flashbacks to New Earth, and it's like, we don't care, she's gone, carry on. But the rest of it, I like the Ragnaros, I like the Return of the Santas. So coming into Series 3 now, yes, the Rebound series, yes, we're coming on to the 10th Doctor's 2nd season, because what happens in this season? We meet Martha, who ends up with a big, massive crush on him, and he doesn't see her because he's too busy moping over Rose again, like we found out in the Shakespeare Code. So, what do I own of Series 3? So, I own, of course, the specials, which are these. The box set. I do own the box set in limited editions, but I've actually put that in like in a glass cabinet where I don't even touch it. All my little clip. And, of course, on the Blu-ray. Now, again, half of Series 3 I don't really like because it's like Martha going, oh, Doctor, I like you. It's like, fuck off, I don't like you. I'm just giving you a couple of trips in the TARDIS and stuff, that's it. And it's like, great one. Great one. You're just giving her a trip in the TARDIS, you're not leading her on anyway, like he does. Until you get to the Lazarus experiment and he goes, fancy one more trip? She goes, no. And he goes, okay, what does it? Okay. Yeah. And then the rest of the series is pretty much okay, because I do like Human Nature and Family of Blood, I do like Blink, and I do like the Master Trilogy. That's the best of Series 3. But the one thing about Series 3, which is very timey-wimey complicated, we have the Infinite Quest, which I really do enjoy. I haven't got this on Blu-ray. Yes, it did become available for the people in the UK on Blu-ray in the Doctor Who The Complete Special Steelbook, which unfortunately I don't own, but I got it on DVD anyway, so I'm not really missing out on that one. Then, of course, after Martha leaves, the Doctor bumps into an old incarnation of himself played by Peter Davison in Time Crash, which is one of my favourite Children with Needs specials. We're going to Series 4. So the next Christmas special, before Series 4 starts, we have Voyage of the Damned. The 10th Doctor has Kylie Minogue. Yes, he ends up having more snugginess with another human companion sort of thing, which is actually an alien from the planet Stone. Let's get off that point. So coming into Series 4, this is the one where it feels like the Doctor is not going around falling in love with anybody. He's back to his old ways, back in Classic Who, showing a human around the galaxy and everything else. So for Series 4, I own the volumes, the box set, and of course, the Blu-ray Steelbook. Now, Series 4, for me, I absolutely do enjoy. I love Partners in Crime. 5 upon play. I absolutely do like that episode, specifically when the Doctor needs to be put in his place by Donna. She does it, and he's like, okay. Planet of the Ood, people don't like this episode, but I pretty much love it. I love the fact that the 10th Doctor has a lot more to do. He's not there being this kind of Doctor falling in love with people. Santoran Experiment, Jet Planet's Poison Sky is absolutely great and other stuff, but the rest, and then when you get to the end point with the Precious Children of Time, and it brings back, this series does bring back Rose, but not much of relationship stuff is hinted until towards the end, where the Doctor gets a human version of himself because he touched a hand when he got shot by a Dalek, and he regenerated and put the spare regeneration into the Dalek, into the spare hand, and the new Doctor grew out when the TARDIS was there exploding, and Donna touched it, and she becomes the Dr. Donna. A whole lot of matters and stuff. Everything is just absolutely spot on at this point. It's a good series. Series 4 is, I absolutely do enjoy it. Weak episodes, I have to say, is probably the Unicorn and the Wasp. Yes, the one with the big giant wasp is not, of course, one of my favourite episodes. But the rest of Series 4 is phenomenally good. My favourite two-parter of this series has got to be Silence in the Library and Forest of the Dead, where you have the Fashion Roger skinning people alive, eating their flesh, and going, "Hey, return the lights!" Again, that's just pretty much of a good episode. So, coming out of Series 4, we are jumping straight into the specials. Yes, we are now going into the specials. So, what do I own of the specials? I own them on Vomune. Of course, as you know, the DVD box set, what I've been showing you when I've been doing my Christmas reviews, and Blu-ray. Unfortunately, I don't own the Steelbook. So what can I tell you about these specials I really enjoy? So, the first special we have, it is a Christmas episode. What do? We go back to Cybermen. Yes, the Cybermen have fell through the void after the big battle with the return of Davros in the previous season and everything else going on with the poisonous something on your back and the stars going out and everything, which is pretty much a good series. I do pretty much enjoy Series 4. Series 4 is my favourite Tennant series. And then, of course, after we have the one with the Doctor teaming up with Jackson Lake to defeat the Cybermen and saves his child and everything else, the Doctor ends up going off to meet another human, aka Lady Christina de Souza, who is also a cat burglar. Now, the one thing about this episode I like is because they've done something that should have happened in season 27 before it got cancelled when Doctor took off the air in 1989. They were actually planning a cat burglar to become the Doctor's next companion with the 7th Doctor, and then the 7th Doctor was supposed to regenerate in season 28, but that idea wasn't scrapped because with Lady Christina de Souza, she is a cat burglar, something I really did enjoy. The other one thing I don't like is these fly aliens and the metal aliens and the flying bus, but the rest of it's pretty much good. So this is Planet of the Dead, which is a pretty much good Easter special. Do enjoy that. So before I get into the final two specials, we ended up having a 5-part animation story that's all been put together on DVD. Again, this was released in the specials on Blu-ray in the Steelbook, but unfortunately I don't own that version of it, so I don't really own these on Blu-ray. But we have Dreamland. Yes, the 10th Doctor goes into America to fight against Area 51. Not really bad animation. Do quite enjoy it. So coming into the next special, which is of course the Waters of Mars. Now, after Planet of the Dead, the Doctor does get a kind of prophecy saying he will knock 4 times and then he's dead. So the Doctor is there trying his hardest to get out of this situation because he goes, Doctor, fun. The water creatures I do enjoy, especially when they break out and start flooding the whole base and everything. I really do enjoy Waters of Mars. It's my favourite Christmas it's my favourite special, to be honest with you. I was going to say Christmas, but it wasn't actually a Christmas special. I don't know if it was. It was broadcast in November 2009. So I don't know if you can kind of class this as a Halloween special, sort of, or just a random special. But I pretty much do enjoy Waters of Mars. It is a great autumn special. I really think it's great. I like the fact the Doctor goes into the Time Lord victorious. When you see him snap when the rocket blows up because one of the crew members at the base blew themselves up and the Doctor is there in Ember and he literally just have that big meltdown, saves 3 of the crew members of Ferry Base 1. And then he snaps in the ties and he goes off. And then, of course, we go into his final adventure known as The End of Time, which I've done something a bit review on, so I'm not going to talk about. But rewatching it recently, my opinion on The End of Time has changed. It's still the worst regeneration story from Modern Who, but it's pretty much good. But the thing is, though, people think when I talk about I don't like the 10th Doctor, I don't mean I don't like the 10th Doctor. I really think he's got some great stuff in his run. I mean, some great episodes, if I can say a couple from Series 2, which is Teeth and Claw, Score Reunion, the Seven 2 parts of WrestleMania Age of Steel, Satan's Pit, and A Possible Planet. That's really good. And then, of course, Omni Ghost and Doomsday, where Series 3, I just absolutely love the Human Nature and Family of Blood. I love Blink and the Time Lord Trilogy. And, of course, The Runaway Bride. That's my favourite Christmas special for David Tennant. But the rest of it, Series 4, I cannot find no fault in it. Series 4, I just absolutely enjoy Series 4 completely. It's one of the best series out of Doctor Who, of the modern era. I really do enjoy Series 4. I absolutely love the chemistry between Tennant and Donna, because them two are like best friends, not, oh, Doctor, I've got a crush on you. Yeah, talk to the hand, I don't really care. Like he does with Martha through Series 3. But with Rose, it's like, this is just so cringy. Cringy stuff going on between Ten and Rose. And I just don't like the way they've done that. It's like, no. I hate the relationship stuff. That's the one thing about the Tennant era that brings it down a lot for me. It is the relationship stuff between Ten and Rose. It just doesn't do much for me. Some people love it. Don't get me wrong. I know some people love it. Like my mate Zach, he loves it. My mate Jamie, he loves it. But for me, I'm not the ones that basically enjoy it, because I was brought up with classic Doctor Who, and there weren't really a lot of relationship stuff going on during the classic era. I was brought up with it by my dad. So when the modern Doctor Who came back, yes, I used to love it, but looking back on it now, my whole opinions on it has changed and everything. Tennant at one point was my second favourite Doctor. At very one point, he was my second favourite. Now, he is my least favourite, because it's nothing to do with the acting, because it's not the actor's fault why some of this stuff happens in the scripts and stuff. It's the writers. And for me to have the writer making the 10th Doctor this kind of hopeless sort of romantic side of the Doctor, and you're like, this is just cringy stuff, and that's the one thing I don't really like, which is why with Russell T Davies, I'm hoping he cuts out all the relationship stuff, get rid of all the relationship stuff like they did with Capaldi's Doctor. The Capaldi's Doctor was just absolutely amazing. That's why I love Peter Capaldi's run, no relationship stuff. Matt Smith's run, even though I like Matt Smith a lot more than Tennant, yes, there was still pretty much some cringy relationship stuff going on during that run, but not as much with the Tennant, I don't think. Not as much with Tennant. But with Tennant, it's just like, I don't get why they thought it was a good idea to make this new regeneration Doctor who's going around wearing a suit and stuff with trainers, and then sometimes he just swaps it for a tuxedo. I don't really enjoy most of his stories, to be honest with you. Out of the majority, there are a lot of stories I do enjoy, where a lot of them I don't. I mean, if I can tell you by heart which episodes I don't really like, which is The Christmas Invasion, New Earth, The Girl in the Fireplace. Even though people think, oh, that was the classic, The Clockwork Droids, I really think they were done better with Peter Capaldi. Of course, we get to The Idiot's Lantern, and then you get to Fear Her, and the one before that, Love and Monsters, that's it. I nearly forgot that one. Then when you get to Series 3, I don't really care for the Smith and Jones. I really like it for the do, but I don't really care for it when you see the Doctor and Martha kiss, and it's like that. But then you get to some of the good stuff in Series 3, like I said, the last couple of episodes. The one episode out of the first part of Series 3 I really do enjoy is probably Gridlock and the Shakespeare Code. They're the ones I do enjoy a bit, but again, that has some sort of like stuff going on in that one. I can't really pick on it because it's been ages since I watched the Shakespeare Code, but I absolutely love Gridlock. I keep rewatching Gridlock because it was put on the Steelbook version of the Macra Terror, and when I watch the Macra Terror, I go back and watch Gridlock on that Blu-ray Steelbook set. But I absolutely do enjoy the Tennant's run, don't get me wrong. I like every single run of the Doctors. I like all of the Doctors, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean don't hate them. If I say what my favourite is to my least favourite, it means I still like them all. Don't get me wrong. It's just certain aspects of the Doctors I really enjoy, and I really don't like the way the Tennant has this kind of hopeless romantic sort of thing going on for his Doctor. That's the one thing about it I really don't like. I'm quite looking forward to meeting him in April. I'm really looking forward to meeting David Tennant in April. I'm not going to bring this subject up to him why I don't really like his era. It's nothing to do with David Tennant. I think he's a great actor. He was a good actor to play the 10th Doctor. He's like Tom Baker. If Tom Baker had like something like Tennant did with making his Doctor like a hopeless romantic stuff, I really think people in the 70s would have gone, this ain't the Doctor. But because Tennant is the one after Christopher Eccleston, and most people haven't even watched Classic Who, people are like, oh yeah, this is the Doctor, the hopeless romantic and stuff. But to be honest with you, the romance stuff didn't really happen until the TV movie, after you have the Eighth Doctor kissing Grace. So it's after the TV movie point, it's just like, ugh. Eccleston and Capaldi's Doctors I really enjoyed a lot of, because there's no stuff going on there. It's just the Doctor showing a human the universe. Even with Capaldi's incarnation, it's like a tutor. He's tutoring them. Like he goes to Clara and Kill the Moon. Right, this is your situation now. You can deal with it. I'm going back in my times. Bye bye. But with Paul McGann and Tennant, these two are the most romantic type of Doctors. I don't know for Paul McGann for Big Finish. I've only listened to some of the stuff in the Time War box, Time War 1, and of course Night of the Fashioned Narada, and Light at the End. They're the only ones I've got for Paul McGann, but his Doctor seems like another romantic type. Well, I spoke to a few people about Big Finish, and they tell me that Paul McGann's Doctor is like a hopeless romantic, a bit like Tennant's Doctor. McGann's in it for the audios, but Tennant is the romantic Doctor on screen, and it just screams at me saying, no. It's the one reason I don't like Tennant, because I just can't say, because with Paul McGann and David Tennant, they're both on the kind of like same level for me. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean I don't like them. And as I say, I like every single Doctor, every single actor who's played a Doctor. There's just some stuff in their eras I don't like. With Tennant, it is the romantic stuff that brings his Doctor down. And then, of course, when you have him in the End of Time, and he's there having this tantrum moment where he's like there hitting his chest going, I could do so much more. So much more. Oh, that's the one thing about it. So in this video, I just want to talk about why David Tennant is my least favourite Doctor. It doesn't mean I don't hate him, because you've heard me say here, I do enjoy a lot of his stories, specifically from series 2, 3 and 4 out of his run. It's just I don't like some of the stuff going on in the background, like the relationship stuff between him and Rose, the way he treats Martha, where she's like there trying to go, I love you, and he's like, torch to the hand, I don't really care, I'm still moping over Rose. It's like, okay. But the rest of it's pretty much okay. So let me know in the comments what you think of the David Tennant era. Is it one of your favourites? Let me know in the comments. If he is like your least favourite Doctor, please let me know in the comments what you think about this video. And please do like, subscribe and share. And have another great day tomorrow. And thank you for watching.